Alrighty. Let me see if I... How you doing, Niles? Good to see you. Hello, Sabi. It's good to see you as well. Hello, now. Hello, how you guys doing? Let me, Can you guys hear the song, by the way, in the background? Alright. That should work now. I can hear ASMR while messengers typing. I'm glad to hear that. How's my ASMR? Hey sir, respect your thoughts. Thank you, man, I appreciate that. Welcome guys to another stream. I think it's been a while since I went on live stream. I think the last live stream that I done was 2 months ago. Which is crazy. But I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be here with you guys for another stream. And for those who don't know what my streams are about, essentially, we're here to give advice to each other, you know, speak about, I guess, philosophical topics, and overall just have a good time, you know, just to connect with each other. And yeah, I'll be here for a couple of hours. I'll probably say like an hour and a half, probably, hopefully. I hope everyone's having a good holidays, you know. I hope everyone is doing well. And yeah, let me go to the chat now. Let me see here. Sage kind of fire. Kind of fine, sorry. Thank you, man. I appreciate the compliment. You can hear the song, lovely. Your videos help me a lot to improve. I'm glad to hear that, man. That's all I ever want. I just want my videos to teach you something in a way, you know. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it teaches you something that's beneficial to you in your improvement and in your growth when it comes to who you are as an individual, you know. That's all that matters to me. Your ASMR is nice. I'm glad to hear that, Sabi. Love from India. Shout out to the Indians here. I hope you're all doing well. Ash, how you doing? It's good to see you. I'm doing okay. I mean, I'm on holiday. I'm kind of just enjoying the holiday right now. And I decided to go on live stream because I've noticed that I haven't been on live for like for the last 2 months, you know. So yeah. Keep going, bro. Don't stop making videos. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. By the way, if anyone is, you know, if you want advice for a specific topic, etc., just drop it down. Just ask your questions, and I'll try and answer them. Hope you had a very merry Christmas and have a happy New Year, Sage. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Likewise, Arctic. Yeah, man, it's crazy how the year has gone by so quickly, hasn't it? I can remember the first day of 2025 like it was yesterday. Ironically, around the first day or the second day of January, I started the year with a migraine attack, which was kind of nice. But yeah, I remember, you know, the year has genuinely gone by so quickly, and it's insane. Yeah, a lot of lessons learned, a lot of great experiences, to be honest. This year was when Sage has truly became known, you know, for who he is, and I'm grateful for that, genuinely. Because of you, I started reading Marcus Aurelius about Stoicism. Your videos are so beneficial to improve to become better. Thank you for sharing that, man. I appreciate that. How did you find Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, by the way? It's currently 7:05 p.m. for me right now. Oh, wow. So you're 3 hours ahead of me. How to deal with guilt and regrets? It's a good question. Now, for me, the way I perceive regret is as the following. I think regretting things is understandable, but it's not beneficial in any way. And the reason why is because you may regret something, but you regretting the past doesn't necessarily change the past. And so I suppose the first step is understanding that the past is out of our control and we can't change it. We can't do anything about what's already been done. Does that make sense? I guess that would be the start of understanding that you regretting it is not necessarily beneficial. And guilt is another thing, right? It's similar to regret, and it just shows that you care. It shows that you acknowledged your wrongdoings in the past, and you wanna, I guess, improve that and change that. And what you could do is focus on what you is how you can. Let me think about this actually. Is focusing on your future actions. So what you've done in the past, you're not proud of. Fair enough. We can't change that. So what we could do is focus on what we learned from the past and what we can do differently for the future. So that when we change our action for the future, we change the outcome. Does that make sense? So rather than focusing on your past actions, you focus on your current actions and what you've learned from the past in order to change the future. To conclude what I just said there, the first thing is understanding that you can't control the past, you can't change the past, and so regretting, dwelling on the past is pretty much useless in a way, right? And the second thing is understanding that the lessons that you've learned from the past will help you adapt to change the future. Hello, have a good streaming, following you from Instagram a lot, watching every one of your videos. Thank you for sharing experience and thoughts. Merry Christmas. Thank you, man, I appreciate that. Merry Christmas to you as well. Why we should learn people, why we can't act like ourselves, like natural. I'm not sure if I understood your question. Is it possible if you can elaborate your question, please, or refine it? Are the characters in your videos based on current/previous friends and relationships? Some of them are, yes. Some of the characters that you see on my videos and my animations are based off of people in my life. So yeah. Is that a new chair? Yes, it is a new chair. I'm glad you noticed. I needed a new chair genuinely because my old chair was just gone. Like it was falling apart, you know. Considering I've had that chair for a long time now actually. So yeah. What's the topic of the next video? I won't reveal it right now. But it's going to be something related to Sage's interaction with, I guess, like a friend. How do you deal with procrastination? Please answer my question. Yeah, sure. So I think it's important to identify why you're procrastinating. What's the cause for it? You know, there are many causes for procrastination. Some of which being stress, burnout is another one, a lack of motivation, and so on. So identify what is the cause for your procrastinating. Why can't you do what you need to do? Why are you being lazy? Why are you procrastinating? For the sake of the example, let's just say that you lack motivation, right? You lack motivation to do something, and so you don't do it. And the question then resides, why can't you? Why are you lacking motivation? Why don't you have motivation for it? You know? I think another way to like deal with procrastination is by doing what you need to do first thing in the morning rather than doing it last. So as soon as you wake up, do what you absolutely hate doing. Right? So do what you need to do, your chores, your studies, work, etc. Just do that first so it's out the way. And once that's out the way, you can focus on what you want to do. Play video games, I don't know, talk with friends and so on. I guess there's a concept that essentially revolves around that, and it's called eating the frog. Eating the frog is an analogy used to essentially talk about procrastination, right? So the reason why they call it eat the frog is because you don't want to eat a frog. You don't want to do that. You know, you hate doing it, but you have to do it anyways, right? And so that essentially illustrates procrastination. We often resort to doing things that we want to do and disregard what we don't want to do. And once we do things that we want to do, the things that we need to do are still there and they need to be done. And we just dwell on them and then we don't want to do them. And it becomes daunting. Does that make sense? Okay. I have a friend and has a book, and he has the book Meditations by. Hold on, wait. I have a friend and he has this book. The book name is Marcus Aurelius in Solitude with Himself. In this book, you are reading his thoughts about all his actions, which has been written on the paper. Marcus Aurelius in Solitude with Himself. I think I've heard of this book actually. Yeah, I'm guessing you're talking about Meditations. So Meditations is essentially, think of it as like a diary, a personal writing of Marcus Aurelius. He wrote the Meditations as a way to teach himself Stoicism, right? He used it as a diary, his own writings. He didn't intend on sharing it to anyone but himself. And it so happened to be what it is now, and everyone now knows about Meditations. I want to ask, how do I deal with a mother that refuses to accept the lack of emotional support she gave me as a child? She's given me the silent treatment instead. I'll say this. You can't necessarily try and change someone's mind about something that they're certain of, especially when they're this certain, you know. If it seems as though she's refusing to accept the lack of emotional support that she gave you as a child, and she's 100% certain about that, it's often difficult to change that. And I'm not saying that you should just give up, right? All I'm saying is we lack control over other people's actions and thoughts and beliefs, right? Now, my question would then be, what did you do in order to show her that she gave you a lack of emotional support? How did you communicate that to her? What was that interaction like, or interactions? Hey Sage, I hope you're doing well. I am 16 and lost my father at the age of 14. Any piece of advice you can give me? Because my ex left me because she never loved me after using me. Any advice? Well, I'm sorry for your loss, my friend. My condolences go to you and your family. Now, I personally do not know what it feels like to lose a father. I've never experienced that pain before, so I cannot tell you what to do and what to feel, right? I guess if I'm looking at it in a logical perspective, or I guess what I think I would do in your position, feel that pain that you're feeling within you, right? Do not disregard it. Do not shy away from it. Acknowledge the pain and feel it. That feeling that you're feeling, the emotions that you're going through, are what make you human. And to disregard them is to disregard who you are, to disregard your essence, your nature. Does that make sense? In doing this, simultaneously, focus on the good memories that you've had with your father. Focus on the lessons that you've learned from your father, right? Cherishing those memories and cherishing the time you've had with your father. Now, I know even thinking about losing my parent, one of my parents or parents, is a painful thought to experience. And genuinely, I'm very sorry to hear that, my friend. I wish you well, and don't try to force positivity, if that makes sense. Focus on feeling what you're feeling. If you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling down, feel those emotions and just acknowledge them. Try and process them, reflect. Does that make sense? And the same applies with your situation with your ex. Now, that is also another thing that has piled onto your pain and what you have to go through and experience. So just take this time to process everything and go through your emotions slowly and gradually. It doesn't really need to be forced. It doesn't need to happen quickly. Just take your time with it, my friend. An appeal to not delete the streams. Yeah, I won't be deleting these streams, genuinely. If you want to watch these streams, go to my YouTube channel and there's a section called live and you can just watch all of them. So I'll be adding them there, or they'll be going there actually. How has your day been? I feel like it's been ages since we saw you. It's awesome to have you here again. I'm great, Ash. I'm doing really well. I'm just I'm enjoying my free time. Recently I've been very busy with work and I couldn't really go on live streams and I couldn't really stay active in the Discord server as well. But this current month as well as January, I'm going to be more free, and which means there's going to be more streams hopefully, and I'll be more active on the Discord server as well. Hey, just thank you for coming up with an idea of Messenger account. I wouldn't think that I could change my perspective on relationships as much. Just thank you. No worries, man. I appreciate your message, Ibrahim. Genuinely. Let me see. Good evening, Messenger. Can you give me any recommendations or tips? Hold on. I am the only person who destroyed my own year. I lost everything, like a friend, myself, anything. I genuinely don't know what to do. Okay, my friend. I mean, could you tell me more about your situation, if that's okay? How do I handle laziness and fear of judgment? Okay, let's first focus on laziness. Identify why you're lazy. What's the cause for your laziness? Is it because you're burnt out? Is it because you lack motivation? If you lack motivation, why do you lack motivation? What's the cause for that? Are you stressed? Are you do you lack interest in what you want to do or what you need to do? In terms of fear of judgment, now, as human beings, we care about what other people think. Even if we say we don't, we do care about what people think. It doesn't matter who it is. right? Now, I think for me, in my experience, what helped me is understanding that what other people think and how other people judge me isn't necessarily reality, and it's not objective. What people think of me is their opinion, and it's subjective. If they think of me as quiet, shy, awkward, whatever, that's okay. I mean, I'm not really going to take that personally, because I understand who I am and I know who I am, right? I know my identity, and I wouldn't necessarily identify as what other people would identify me as. Does that make sense? So when you're afraid of judgment when it comes to doing something, ask yourself why. Why am I afraid of their judgment? And for everyone watching here, you might identify a common theme of the advice that I'm giving, and it's questioning. Asking yourself why. Why am I feeling this? Why am I thinking this? Right? And I believe that questioning our beliefs and questioning our feelings and thoughts genuinely help us understand and gain insight on why we are the way we are. Right? So for you, question your fear of judgment and question your laziness. Why am I lazy, and why do I fear judgment? Is your videos a journey of your life like Marcus did? I mean, you could perceive it that way. I mean, I like to think that my videos are my meditations, in a way. I mean, I am writing my book. I am currently in the process of writing a book that I hopefully will release next year. But, you know, other than that, I feel like my videos are my own meditations. Every video is I guess you can say, a chapter or a teaching, and a personal writing to myself. So yeah, you could perceive it that way. Judgment is a form of self-protection. Keep in mind that you can't influence / control other people's thoughts and actions, but you can control your own. Yes, that is true. What other people think, you can't necessarily control that. I mean, you could influence in a way, but that's not guaranteed. You can't, it's, you know, and this, I think I've made a video about this many times, specifically fake rumors. So someone can lie about you and spread rumors about you, whether that be online or in school or at work. And you can't control whether people believe that rumor or not believe it. What you can control is how you respond to the fake rumors. Now, you can go around and tell people that's not true, that's a fake rumor, don't believe it. And some people may believe it, some people may not believe it. And some people may believe the rumors based off your reaction to the rumors. But ultimately, in that situation and similar situations, the only thing you can control is your response to the situation, rather than the opinions of others and what other people think and believe about the situation. Let me see. How do I beat lust? You see, lust and sexual desires is a common natural thing that we all experience, considering that it's wired within our biology. But it's important to obviously maintain some control over it, right? And I think it is possible to maintain some control over it. I would say identify what triggers the urges that you get, or triggers your lust. You know, it could be a video that you see on social media. It could be an image that you see. It could be a thought that comes in mind. And, you know, whatever it is, try and limit interaction with that specific, I guess, trigger. So if it's a video that you see on social media, try and remove the video from your feed. If it's a photo, remove the photo from the feed. If it's a thought, now a thought is a lot different because oftentimes it's very random and spontaneous, you know. Obviously there are things that can influence and trigger a thought that comes to mind, which then brings you to the urges. But in the situations where the thought comes spontaneously, try not to feed it. And to do that, you need to, I would say, distract yourself in a healthy manner. So focus on something else. So let's say you're sitting down and the thought comes into mind, something that essentially triggers the lust. As soon as the thought comes to mind, divert your attention to something else, whether that be, I don't know, a book, reading a book, or playing a game, or going outside for a walk, or talking to someone, you know. And that distraction, that diversion in a way, would allow you to, I guess, move on from that thought, right? Does that make sense? Goodness, I missed live streams. I remember the beginning of this year, I used to live stream on TikTok, and I had a small group of people who would watch me every single time I streamed. Goodness. Some of them are still here. Some of them are not. And if you are here, I've missed those days, genuinely. I remember those days. Your words do make sense, man. I'm grateful for you to say that. The thing is, I constantly am getting this feeling of emptiness and I don't know what to do about it. Do you think you have an idea as to why you may be feeling empty? Because I do understand what you mean. I do relate to that in a way. As sometimes I do feel empty as well. Like, sometimes I feel like my life is being repetitive and it's just empty in a way and it has no meaning. And in those days, I tend to remind myself of what I'm doing with my life and why I'm doing what I'm doing with my life, and what I want to do with my life. So my question to you would then be, do you have an idea as to why you may be feeling empty? Or is it unknown? What an interesting question. Oh my goodness. What have I just read? Wait. I need to save that. Okay. We never truly die. What die is our mind and body. You're already a part of life, even the one with it. You're already a part of life, even the one with it. What do you mean by that? Could you elaborate if possible? If any advice you can give me on my problem of masturbation is I am becoming a man that may not be designed for strong society. So is your question regarding masturbation then? Could you tell me more about that if possible? Recently I've been feel like burnt out of everything, like things that brought me growth makes me overwhelmed and burnt out, and I just want to take a bit of rest. I've been working hard before. I think you should take a bit of rest, man. I think I'm not sure if this is related to your situation, but it made me think of something, how there's this constant hustle culture that's going on, this trend of just self-improvement, 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 where people are just improving themselves every day. They're just grinding, they're hustling every day. There's no rest, no break, nothing. And that is unhealthy, right? Yeah, sure, it's good to improve yourself. It's necessary to improve yourself. You need to, I guess, hustle, you need to grind and improve your current position in life. But doing that every single day is unhealthy, and you need to learn to take a break, to rest, to have fun sometimes, and overall to have a balance in life. And a lot of individuals say that a balance is not sustainable, and it doesn't work. And I disagree. I think it does work. As long as you do the work that's necessary, and as long as you do what you want to do, there is balance and it does work. But I'm not sure if that's related to your situation. You can let me know. But if you do feel burnt out, do take rest, do relax, take a break from what you're doing, and come back to when you feel a lot better, right? So social media specifically makes people feel guilty for not doing, disciplined stuff and like just hustling. They make you feel guilty for that, because not doing anything and relaxing and resting and having fun seems hedonistic, but it's not. An abundance of pleasure, an abundance in relaxing and rest could be hedonistic, yes. But if you have been working your ass off, pardon my language, if you've been working a lot and you don't rest, then that's unhealthy. Too much of anything is bad. Too much hustling is bad. Too much rest is bad. Too much pleasure is bad. It's important to balance. I know exactly which one you mean, yeah. Just interesting. It's nice to see people here. I agree, Seppi, I agree. Final favor, Sage. In 2026, I genuinely want to be a better person, not just physically, also mentally. What can I do? How will I start? Where or when? My main problem that I'm experiencing now is laziness. Okay. My advice would be to focus on one thing. What do you want to improve? You just stated physicality and your mentality. What do you want to focus on the most? Focus on one of them. So let's say you want to focus on your mentality. Okay. How do you want to improve your mentality? What do you want your mentality to look like? What kind of person do you want to become in 2026? Do you want to become more of a calm person? Do you want to become more of a, understanding person, a quiet person, a more charismatic person? What kind of person do you want to be in 2026? And once you've identified the goal, you now need to figure out how you can get to that goal. What are certain things that you can do to get to that goal? Let's say, for example, you want to be more of a confident person. Confidence comes from familiarity, and we fear what we don't know, right? And because we don't know, because we fear what we don't know, we tend to lack confidence in that specific area. So again, in regards to the confidence example, what do you want to be confident in? Do you want to be confident in public speaking? Do you want to be confident in approaching people and socializing? Let's say, for the sake of the example, you want to be confident in approaching people and socializing with them. What you would need to do is make that more familiar, right? And the way you can do that is by experiencing and exposing yourself to those types of situations. if you've never really socialized with people before, if you've never really approached people before, you would need to approach people to make that more familiar for yourself, to make that more, to make yourself more confident. And consistency is also an important role in this as well. The more consistent you are in improving a certain aspect of your life, the better you will get at it, and the more confident you will be. So I guess my question for you would then be, what area of your life would you want to focus on, and how would you want to improve it? What do you want to look like in 2026? What kind of person do you want to be? The answer to why I'm feeling empty might again go to my relationship, because I was so into the relationship that I was completely empty after it, and now that she's no longer here, I'm empty. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I can understand. I can relate to that feeling of emptiness, so I understand your pain there. I want to say two things. The first thing goes back to what I said previously in regards to processing what you're feeling and trying to understand that feeling. So sit with that feeling and process it. Acknowledge that you're feeling empty, right? It's good that you've identified why you're feeling empty, because of the relationship, and that you're feeling empty. The other thing that I want to say is to live life. And I know that's very cliche to say, like, what do you mean by live life? Should I just go outside and walk down the park or something? You could do. What I'm trying to say is, live your life and gain new experiences. That way you have other things to focus on, rather than focusing on your previous relationship. So you could, for example, go out with friends. You can visit a different country if possible. You can go out on a walk to the park. You can do many different activities. You can go bowling. I guess what I'm trying to say is to distract yourself in a healthy manner. So processing what you're feeling, right? Acknowledging the feelings, the emotions that you're going through, but also distracting yourself in a healthy manner. Trying to continue with life and moving on with life, rather than dwelling in the past. But yeah. Sage, have you always been like this by default? If not, what or who made you the person you are at the present? So to answer the first part of your question, no, I wasn't like this. I wasn't always like this. Obviously, life, experiences, knowledge, a lot of reflecting, a lot of adapting has made me the person that I am today. I guess just a lot of experiences in regards to relationships and a lot of situations with certain people, a lot of situations in regards to with myself. So like just adversity and difficulty. Overall, just life has, I guess, made me who I am, and it's gonna happen to you guys as well. It's already happening to you guys, and it's already happened to you guys as well. We all experience things that change us, and change is inevitable. Change is constant. The only constant in life is change. I think Heraclitus said, quoted that. We're always changing as people. This year, we're gonna be a completely different person as a collective next year than we are today. I can tell you guys right now, the person that I am now is a completely different person to who I was last year, and the same applies with the years prior. And I know for a fact that next year I'm going to be a completely different person. The year after that, I'm going to be a completely different person. And that's all because of experience. First, we experience things, then we gain knowledge from those experiences, and we reflect on those knowledge, the knowledge gained. And once we've reflected, we adapt and we change. We change our actions, we change our ways, and in doing so, we change outcomes. And we change how we approach situations. I just wanna clarify that I'm no different to any of you. I'm just like you guys. We're all human beings. I'm no different. I have the same amount of hours in a day. I breathe the same element, oxygen. I am the same individual as you guys are. Nothing makes me different to you guys, right? If I can be who I am, so can you. If I can improve the person that I am and you know, adapt from my experiences, so can you. Does that make sense? What do you do in your free time? I like to read. I like to play games. I like to watch YouTube sometimes, you know. Yeah, that's what I like to do. Yo, man, I've been watching you since you started posting. You've changed countless lives, and I still don't understand how you can know how everyone feels. I just want to say that I love your content. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I mean, I wouldn't say that I know how everyone feels, but I guess you can say that we all feel the same things in a way. We all experience similar things in a way, which makes us relate to each other. And I guess the same applies with my videos. You know, the things that I've experienced, I post. And people happen to relate to that, and they relate to that because they understand, oh, I've gone through the same thing. I've gone through a similar thing to what you've experienced. So this is relatable. Thank you for posting this, you know. Hi Sage, my father is an alcoholic and he behaves like a toddler when he gets drunk. He's 52 and I'm 18 now. I like ignore when he does this, but it stresses me a lot. I set boundaries, but I feel sad sometimes. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. I don't really know what that is. I mean, I don't really know what kind of experience that would be. I've never really went through that experience before. I guess, could you tell me more about the boundaries that you set with your father? If possible, please. How often do you read? Lately I haven't been reading as much as I used to. And that's mainly because I've been very busy with a lot of personal matters in regards to just work. And animations have been taking up a lot more of my time as well. But yeah, I used to read pretty much every day for at least like, it depends, it varied depending on the book. Sometimes I would read for like half an hour, sometimes I'd read for an hour. But yeah, I'm a bit on and off right now. Do you rage at games by chance? Not really. I mean, I don't really rage, no. I don't really see the need to rage and end up breaking my monitor or breaking my mouse or my keyboard. Nah. I understand why people rage, and I understand why raging is common, but like I don't really see the need to do it. What do you think about spiritual awakening? I mean, I'm not really I'm not really knowledgeable when it comes to spiritual awakening, or like, you know, stuff like astral projection and all those types of things. When it comes to spirituality, I mean, I can understand why people lean more towards believing those types of things. But I personally don't really believe in spiritual awakening and stuff like that. I guess it's just another way of saying, I've had a paradigm shift, or I've had an epiphany, you know. I've gained a new perspective. My mind is open. It's just another way of saying that. Um, it's really great seeing a man spending their time to genuinely help people, or help others. I try, man. I find great gratitude, joy, and satisfaction in helping other people. Um, it makes me feel great, and you know, yeah, I like seeing the smile on people's faces, and I like to see the pain being lifted in a way, you know. Um, when was the last time you had an outburst? Goodness, I actually don't remember. Genuinely don't remember. I think it was a few years ago. Um, yeah, most likely a few years ago. I'm not too sure. It's been a long time. So the boundaries I set is whenever he is drunk, I won't go near his room nor talk to him at the time until he recovers, basically. Next morning, and he would forget almost everything he did. One time he got so mad he woke up. He woke me up at 11 p.m. from sleep, gave me tasks to clean the floor outside at 2-3 degrees with cold water, and slapped me 4 or 5 times. Happened 4 years ago. He never said he done this. Goodness me. Um, have you spoke to like a professional about this? Maybe a counselor, or um, is your father going through something? Maybe mental health issues? Is he is he doing okay mentally? Um, has he had traumatic experiences before? You know, I mean, I would suggest talking to a professional about this, maybe a therapist or a counselor if possible. Um, you are doing well when it comes to distancing yourself when he is drunk, which is good. Um, I think it's important to. I'm just thinking for a second. I think it's important to set more boundaries in a way, um, to essentially avoid experiencing the same things you experienced in the past. So, what do you think? setting more boundaries would look like for you, for example? Would it mean to stand up for yourself more, or would it mean to distance yourself more? What do you think that would look like? Where are you from, by the way? I am from the UK. Okay. Let me just double check something. Okay. Let me see. Okie dokie. Let me just quickly sort this out. And there we go. So, go back to chat. Are you familiar with lucid dreaming? Just curious about your thoughts. Yeah, so this is going to sound really strange, but for some reason, every time I sleep, majority of the time I am aware of my dreams, and I am essentially in control of my dreams, which could be classified as lucid dreaming. I am aware that I'm dreaming as well. Like, I know that I'm dreaming, and I also have control over them. I guess that could be a result of meditation. I'm not too sure. But yeah, for some reason I lucid dream every night. My suspicion is that I think it's because of me meditating for so long. I've been meditating for 5 years now. But yeah. We have a fellow Brit. Yes, we do. I'm glad to see another Brit here as well. Hold on, what type of games do you play? Well, currently in rotation, I have Red Dead Redemption 2, which I've already played. But I'm revisiting the game again because I absolutely love Red Dead Redemption. I also have Valorant in rotation. Stardew Valley as well is another game that I have in rotation. And I feel like I had another one. And yeah, I think that's it, to be honest. Lucid dreaming is such a weird experience, man. I know I am in a dream, but I can't do a thing whatsoever. Interesting. It's quite different for me, at least. I mean, I'm aware that I'm dreaming. I know that I'm dreaming, but I can do something. Like, I am in control of my dreams. Yeah, meditation definitely helps to lucid dream. Okay, that's good to know then. I guess that's the result of me lucid dreaming as often as I do. Do the side characters in your animation represent your friends or someone close, as in a real person? Yeah, I think I've answered this question previously. But yeah, a few of the characters that you see on my animations do represent certain people that I've essentially that were in my life or are in my life, let's just say. In the context of dreaming, was there a dream which had unlocked a previous dream that you had forgotten? Ooh, that's a good question. Potentially, I would say. There's a very high chance, but I just can't recall any examples. Mate, to be honest, I wanted to have an obsessive girlfriend because I wanted so bad, because in my past 3 relationships, I was unwanted. What do you think? Is it dangerous or not? It could be dangerous. Or I guess it could be bad because having an obsessive trait could make you feel like you're suffocating in a relationship. You know, when your partner's not giving you space to breathe and they constantly want your attention and they constantly want you to shower them with affection, it could make you feel like you're suffocating in a relationship, and it could be unhealthy. So I think it's important to have some space, some distance, not distance, some space in the relationship for yourself, like independent, for yourself, for you know, so you can take time to process things and yeah. You should definitely play God of War Ragnarok. Ah, I played that game when it came out on so I bought my PlayStation 5. I bought the God of War Ragnarok bundle. And that was the first game I played on my PlayStation 5. I think a couple years ago now. I think 2023. I'm not too sure. And I absolutely loved it. I mean, it was amazing. The gameplay, story. Um, yeah, I would play it again, to be honest. I think the DLC came out as well, and I played the DLC, and it kind of gave me nostalgia in a way because I used to play the old God of War games as well, and to see the younger version of Kratos in the DLC was nice, and the speech in the DLC was amazing as well. So Sage, I shall do something else also, or let it continue. I have a plan since I'm 18, would have, hold on, would a competitive exam next year, then I would move on to college and potentially job, then I would move out. Okay. Okay, that's good. Um, and do you have, I guess, any preparations? Are you prepared for the competitive exam next year? Do you have any sort of preparations for that? Enlightenment fix what therapy never could. I'm 17 years old and I have started my self-improvement journey from 3 years ago. Can you give me some tips? Because sometimes it feels pointless and I don't know what's the next step to become better. So the thing is, right, I wouldn't necessarily focus mainly on self-improvement. I understand that there's this trend where a lot of people are focusing on self-improvement and that's the only thing that they're focusing on. But I would suggest also focusing on doing things that you enjoy doing. So self-improvement, good. You know, make that your focus. Focus on improving, whatnot. But also focus on doing things that you enjoy doing, right? So focus on what you need to do and then focus on what you want to do. So identify what area of your life that you want to improve. Is it your physique? Like, do you want to build more muscle? Do you want to lose weight? Is it your mentality? You know, do you want to change your mindset in a way? Do you want to improve your social skills? Do you want to be more charismatic? Do you want to gain more knowledge? You know, what do you want to do with when it comes to improvement? What do you want to improve? You know, when it comes to self, there's so many different aspects of the self that you can improve, and it's very versatile when it comes to stuff like that. But also, once again, don't forget to do stuff that you want to do as well. Like if you want to play video games, play video games. If you want to, uh, I don't know, spend a certain amount of money on things that you like, go for it. Um, just don't focus too much on self-improvement and make it your whole personality and your identity and you know, to the point where you're burning yourself out because it can be unhealthy. Brother, have you played Amori? Amori, that sounds very familiar actually. Amori. No, I haven't played Amori. What's this about? Uh, I haven't played it, no. Why did you delete your old YouTube videos? I haven't deleted them. They're just unlisted. You could watch them unlisted on my Discord server. I have the old links for them in the YouTube video channel. You can just watch all the videos. Yeah, I really did enjoy making those types of videos, actually. Just me speaking to the camera. Well, the main reason why is because of the whole Sage has essentially transformed my brand, and the main focus is now Sage for me, you know. But yeah. Damn, man, how do you always know what to say next? It feels like you're reading something prepared. I don't know. I mean, I guess I've pretty much preached similar advices to similar people, which is why I can recall certain advices a lot easier, a lot quicker. Maybe that's why. But yeah. In my third relationship, my girlfriend always wanted to have a call, and sometimes because of something I said no. I fear that I'm ever becoming a bad boyfriend. What do you think? You see, here's what I would say. In your relationship, if you, before you do something, if you feel like you're doing this, or if you're not doing something, hold on, let me say this one more time. In your relationship, if before you do something, or if you don't do something, if you feel like you're doing this or not doing this because of the fact that, you know, recalling from your previous relationship, the best thing is to do the opposite. So I'll give an example. In your situation, she wanted to call you, but you said no because of fear, right? You could have done the opposite and said yes, right? Because what I want you to understand is the following: your current relationship is never the same as the previous relationships that you've experienced. She's not the same person as the person that you were with before. So it would be unfair for you to treat her like you treated the person before, right? Does that make sense? Can you tell me the difference between a therapist, a psychiatrist, and a psychologist? Because they really feel like they do similar. Yeah, they do similar things. I mean, a psychiatrist and a psychologist are both therapists in a way. The only difference is psychiatrists can prescribe medication for their patients. That's the difference. Psychologists can't do that. Psychiatrists can prescribe medication to their patients, which makes them different in a way. I guess I can be totally wrong when I say this, so don't take my word for it. But I think you need to do more stuff to be a psychiatrist than to be a psychologist, because it requires more things. I could be very wrong though. Seeing the old Kratos talking to his younger self in a DLC, such a powerful cut. It really is. I totally agree with you, man. Okay, but yeah. I might need to end stream in like 5 minutes. But yeah. You know, it's good to come back to streaming after a while. Um, it's been a while, genuinely. Sage, what is something you find hard to deal with generally? That's a good question. I guess certain desires, when it comes to desire, there are certain things that we desire, um, that we don't want to desire, uh, which can be difficult to overcome, urges and so on. Um, like for example, a sugar addiction. Like when you tell yourself that you want to stop eating chocolates, but you continue to eat chocolates, it becomes difficult because you just love the dopamine rush, and I guess not you specifically, but your brain just loves the dopamine rush. Um, how does Sage quit an addiction? I think a great way to overcome addiction is by not completely removing the addiction, but slowly but gradually limiting your interaction and your exposure to the addiction. So let's say you're again addicted to chocolates, for example. Rather than completely getting rid of chocolates, you just get less and less chocolate, if that makes sense. So an example could be on Monday you had 5 chocolates. On a Tuesday you drop it down to 4, and then as you continue going down, you just don't have enough left. So in a way, you're not completely getting rid of the addiction. Um, you're slowly limiting it in a way. You're still giving the brain what it wants, but you're also limiting it. But yeah. I think self-control is really important, like having the willpower to prevent yourself from indulging in more addiction, in more chocolate, is important. Eating chocolate is not necessarily a bad thing. Too much of it could be a bad thing, and that's why it becomes an addiction. There's no self-control. So that's another thing, learning to prevent yourself from having more, and yeah. Okay, one last question. Let me see here. Let me see. Sage, I want to ask something important. Like, as I'm 18 now, I had a crush before. I liked to talk. Hold on, I liked talked with her in our school bus. She also I liked, but never said something in a whole year because I was scared and afraid in the end days. She asked me to do um, my apologies, man. I'm not sure if I'm always patient, sacrifice my study just to spend more time with her. She needs attention. I try to give by sacrificing my routine for her. What do you think? Am I a bad boyfriend? I mean, you're not necessarily a bad boyfriend, no. Um, you're telling me how you're sacrificing your studies and your, I'm guessing that's meant to say sports, so like gym and stuff. You're sacrificing your time for your partner, which is a good thing. I mean, just make sure you don't lose yourself in the process, right? Make sure you don't lose your routine and lose your life as well, um, in for your partner. It's important to sacrifice your time and your energy and your attention for your partner, but don't give uh, all your time and your attention to your partner, because then you won't have time for yourself. Does that make sense? Um, it's very nice seeing you stream again, Messenger. Hope you're well. Thank you so much, Sabi. I appreciate that genuinely, and I hope you're doing well as well. All right, guys. I guess that concludes today's stream. I want to thank every single one of you for your questions, for your support, and just overall being here. You know, your presence is really important to me, and I do enjoy every single one of your presence here. Yeah, I hope everyone has a great day. Enjoy the rest of, I guess, Christmas, even though it's ended. Enjoy the New Year's. I wish you all a great New Year. I hope you have a great, fantastic 2026, I guess. And I'll see you next year. But yeah, take care, guys.